Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. My name is DaReal, and we are here with some NBA 2K Mobile. A brand new update has occurred in the game. It's officially winter time in NBA 2K Mobile, and that means we have the winter theme here. So we're going to be going over the new players and breaking down their stats so you know who the true gems are and who you should be trying to add to your squad for the events and for head-to-head gameplay. So let's get it started. Just like the last theme, the lowest rarity for this theme is Diamond, which I think is a big W, especially for new players. First player being brought in, Franz Wagner, who is craftable. And if you take a look at his stats, he's got a 4.2 stat average, which makes him a pretty good player. Definitely a secret gem in the game. Next, we got Jakob Poeltl. I might be saying his name wrong, but he's on the San Antonio Spurs and he's craftable. Let's see what his stats are. So his stat average is around a 3.6 for a center, and that's mainly because of his low three-point shot. Next up, we got Jaren Jackson Jr. He is not craftable. His stat average is a 3.9, which is insane because he has a 1 in playmaking, and that's really what's bringing down his average, because aside from that, he's actually a gem in my opinion. Next, we got Malcolm Brogdon. He's craftable with 2 collectibles along with the rings. He's got a 3-point stat average. For a point guard, that's kind of low. But if you do look at the stats that matter for a point guard, right, the mid-range and the 3-point shot, they're fairly high, which is a 5. Playmaking could be a little bit higher, but he definitely can use a boost of playmaking and defending. That will make him a more usable point guard on your squad. Next up, we got Keldon Johnson. He's got a 3.7 stat average. If you take a look at his stats, they're pretty much either a 3 or a 4. Doesn't really have any 5, so a lot of these stats you could bring up with the right gear and mentors. He could be usable in your squad depending on the players you surround him with, right? But aside from that, he's pretty decent. Then we got Chris Middleton, Pink Diamond as well. Chris Middleton comes in at a 3.8 stat average. For a shooting guard, he got stats that are important, right? The mid-range of 5, 3-point shots of 5, defending's a 4, and playmaking's 4. Those are pretty good stats, along with the 5-inch shoot-off dribble. But it's that layups and dunks that hurts him, right? That 3 really brings him down. And for a shooting guard, he's going to be playing a role similar to Klay Thompson, where they're great on the catch and shoot, but they're not really going to be slashes for your squad. And that's fine, right? Because if you surround him with the right players, he'll be great for your team. Next, we got a Galaxy Opal Nikola Vucevic. He's got a 3.7 stat average. I got to tell you, 2K really likes adding Vucevic to themes for sure. He's decent as a center, right? He actually got better stats than some of the legends in the game. And I think that's mainly because he's got that 5 in mid-range shooting, which makes him really good on the paint, along with the 5 in post scoring, right? So he's a good pick and pop type player. But what hurts him a lot, in my opinion, is that 3 in defending hurts him big time, and the 2 in playmaking. But aside from that, Vucevic could get the job done for your squad in a similar role like Jonas Valanciunas. Now we got Colin Sexton. He's craftable as well, Galaxy Opal Rarity. He also comes in at a 3.7. He's a decent player in my opinion. He has a 5 in mid-range and a 5 in 3-point shot, which is good for a point guard. His shoot-off dribble, layups and dunks, playmaking and defending are all a 4. So you can really build out Colin Sexton to be pretty good in his game, because he's got things that you can work with. He got stats that really are important for the point guard role, like rebounding doesn't matter as much, post scoring doesn't matter as much. So the other things that do contribute to him being pretty good, you can build up easily with the right gears and mentors. Now this player is a secret gem, especially for head-to-head. That's Kristaps Porzingis. For a power forward, this guy's a monster, right? He's got a 5 in mid-range, 3-point shot, and post scoring. So he can score inside and outside. And defending, low-key, one of the best shot blockers inside this game. He's got a 4 in defending, but I'm telling you, it's a lot better than what the stats show. And you can do so much with building out Kristaps Porzingis. So if you do get him on your team, he'll be really good. Because again, gears and mentor will make him be the elite power forward that you need. And he could be on a level like Dirk Nowitzki. He can be a shot blocking Dirk Nowitzki. Now, y'all know I'm happy about this one right here. So we got a Dark Matter Jalen Brunson with the Knicks jersey. Big W, appreciate it 2K. Let's check out his stats. He's got a 3.8. And for the most part, I like the stats that he was given. There are a couple stats that I think are fairly low, like that 3 in layups and dunks. I think could be higher, right? This guy's got a really good layup package. He has a very similar game to Kyrie Irving. So that 3 in layups and dunks could be higher. But aside from that, though, he's got a 5 in shoot-off dribble, mid-range, 3-point shot, and playmaking, which means that he could be really good on your team. All you got to do is bring up his defending, which is a 3, If you could bring that up to the 5, he'll be getting a lot of steals, and he could play a role similar on your squad like a Gary Payton. He could be a mix of a Gary Payton and a Kyrie Irving. Next, we got a Bojan Bogdanovic. So Bogdanovic comes in at 3.5, but he got stats that I like a lot for a small forward. The 5 in mid-range, 5 in three-point shot. Like, that's so good for a small forward. He could be a reliable scorer on the wings for sure. I like the 4 in shoot-off dribble as well, which means he could create opportunities for himself to score. The only area of opportunities I see is that 3 in playmaking and a 3 in defending. That's got to come up, right? I'm not expecting him to get layups and dunks because that's not his game, but he's got to be a little bit faster to be able to get the ball off the screens, to be able to be a more effective catch-and-shoot player, and be on the realms like Klay Thompson. Next, we got Tyler Hero, who's been balling out. We'll take a look at his stats right now, but he comes in at a dark matter with a really high power as well. So he's got a 3.7 stat average, but he's got a lot of stats that you can build on. So he's got the 5 in shoot-off dribble, which you need for your shooting guard. Mid-range of 5, 3-point shot of 5. Playmaking is a 4, so that's an area of opportunity. Defending is a 3 is another area of opportunity. Very similar to Bojan Bogdanovic, I'm not expecting Tyler Hero to slash. So if you can build him out to be a really good threat on the wing, catch and shoot threat, he could be good for your team as well, especially for head-to-head where you're predominantly shooting a lot of threes. Kicking off the toe pass, we got OG. OG comes in at a 3.7 as well. Again, a decent player for the small forward position. He's got a lot more stats that you need to build, though, for him to be really reliable in your squad. Like, he's got a 4 in layups and dunks, which is okay, right? But you need to build that up for a small forward. You want them to be able to slash. You want a small forward that can slash and shoot. For the small forwards, I kind of prefer a small forward that can shoot and hit the corner threes. That 4 in mid-range and 4 in three-point shot could be boosted. His playmaking is a 3, so that could be boosted as well. And his rebound is a 3. I would prefer for that to be a 4 for a small forward because they got to be able to get those rebounds that your bigs can't get. Aside from that, the defending is a 4, which is pretty good. So there is some opportunities to build out OG. Robert Williams comes in at 3.5. For his center, he comes in at 3.5. He's got some stats that hurt him. But if you need him for a center that can rebound, he's pretty good, right? He's got a 5 in defending, 5 in rebounding, and a 5 in strength, along with a 4 in post scoring. So he's a decent center. The layups and dunks is a 4 as well, so that's pretty decent. But again, what hurts him? The 1 in three-point shot, and the 2 in playmaking. So that leaves a lot to be desired when building him out. Next, we got Paolo Banchero. He's got a 4.4. Y'all seen his Obsidian card a few weeks ago. Definitely can ball out. I featured him in some gameplay for Worth the Hype episode dedicated to him when I unlocked him from the event. So he's a pretty good player. So if you didn't get the Obsidian and you got a chance to get the Topaz, he'll be good for your squad. Like, you could do a lot with him. Build wise, you can do a lot as well. Like, he's got a lot of 5s, right? Shoot off dribble, layups and dunks, agility, strength, and the rest are 4s. So you can build them up to be a beast with anything you add on them. Next, we got a Jalen Green, which is pretty cool. I haven't seen a really good Jalen Green. So he comes in at a 4.0, which is a decent stat average for shooting guards. The best shooting guard really only has like a 4.5. So 4 is pretty good. He's got a 5 in layups and dunks in mid-range. He's also got a 4 in playmaking and defending. So there's opportunities to build him out right. You got to bring up his three-point shot, though. That 4 is going to make him less of an offensive threat. But because his layups and dunks in mid-range is a 5, you can really easily focus on building a three-point shot, playmaking, and defending, which will make him so good. Like, he's going to be a fun card to use, and I'm hoping I can add him on my squad. Coming in at a 4.2 is Christian Wood. I've been saying he's a sleeper for a long time in this game. If y'all seen my ranking video, then you know I've spoken very highly of Christian Wood, and you can see his stats. 5 in three-point shot, strength, and rebounding. 4 in post scoring, 4 in defending. He's got real good stats that you can build on. If you can boost up his playmaking, he'll be even more effective for your squad that you would want to add on to your head-to-head squad. Next, we got Jrue Holiday, who comes at 3.8. Jrue Holiday is a great player, right? He's not elite, but his defending is, right? He's got a 5 in defending, but he's also got a 5 in mid-range and three-point shot and shoot-off dribble. And that 4 in playmaking, you could just build that up, and he'll be great. All right, so now we're on the pearls, and I'm pretty excited about this card right here. Clippers John Wall. Definitely, it's definitely great to see John Wall back in the NBA. One of my favorite players. He's craftable, and let's check out his stats. So John Wall's a 3.9, but I gotta tell you, his gameplay is really good. I used to use his Onyx card like crazy in Season 2, Probably one of the first cards I did a gameplay for as well. That's how throwback of a player John Wall is for me. But his playmaking is a 5, which is what you want to see on your point guards. Mid-range is a 5. His layups and dunks is a 4, but I'm telling you, his layup package is insane, and he could get to the rim with ease. He is a slasher for sure. What I would focus on building up on John Wall will be the shoot-off dribble, so that he can create that opportunity to get a mid-range shot. Bring up his layups and dunks, because he's going to be slashing for you and being able to dish it out to whoever's open on the wings. And then boost up his playmaking. That's really the way you want to use John Wall. Somehow bring up defending, then you're all good. Next, we got Pascal Siakam. Y'all know how I feel about Spicy P. In my opinion, a little bit inconsistent in this game, but he is one of the most popular players. He comes up in a lot of themes. So Spicy P is a 4.2. That average, pretty decent, especially for a power forward. He's got well-rounded stats. The way I would build him out is I would boost up his playmaking, because he gets crazy, right? Spicy P is really good in his game. Bring up his defending, because he's got good height. He's very agile for a power forward position. And if you can somehow bring up his mid-range and three-point shot to make his shot more consistent, then you should be all good. He does have that 5 in layups and dunks, so you can definitely slash and get to the paint and have a lot of fun. This card I'm really excited about. We got a Pearl Donovan Mitchell in the Cavs jersey. Pretty fire. Let's check out his stats, though, because in the past, Donovan's stats haven't been where they should be. Actually, Donovan's stats, I think, went up a little bit. So he's a 3.9. What I like about him the most is that 5 in shoot-off dribble, layups and dunks in mid-range. He has one of the sweetest releases in his game. Him and CJ McCollum, they're just so smooth when they shoot. He also has a 5 in playmaking, which is incredible, along with the 5 in agility. So if I was to bring up something for Donovan Mitchell, would be the three-point shot, the defending, and layups and dunks, because he can go crazy just like Dwayne Wade when slashing to the rim. Definitely a fun card to use. Doesn't get spoke up often, but I'm telling you, he's really solid. All right, next we got Obsidian Evan Mobley. I'm really excited about this card. Again, shout out to 2K, because Evan Mobley is a secret gem in this game. I've been talking about him for a while. Now that we have a theme card and it's Obsidian, I think a lot of people are going to buy into the hype. But the card is craftable. He definitely has some of the best stats for a center in the game. Stat average is a 4.3. He's got a 5 in layups and dunks, which is incredible. The 5 in rebounding, and the 5 in defending. That's what you want your center to have. Those are the elite stats for a center. What makes him even greater, that 4 in mid-range, that 4 in three-point, the 4 in post-scoring. Like, he's solid all around. There's not one bad stat. So you can get real creative with builds for Evan Mobley. And if you got the right epic gear or legendary gear, forget about it. Next, we got Devin Booker, Obsidian, 80,000 power. This thing is crazy. And the way Booker's playing lately, incredible. So Booker got a 3.9 stat average. I got to be really honest. He got to get his stats increased. Like, the dude's dropping 58 points in the game with ease. We can at least see the three-point shot maybe go up, or even the mid-range, or the shoot-off dribble. Bring something up, because his stat average has got to increase. Or even bring up the playmaking, man. He's got to be at least a 4 or higher, in my opinion. But regardless of the fact, it's always a fun card to use. A lot of people like to use Devin Booker. He has a sweet release in the game. It is fast, but once you get used to it, really good scorer, especially for head-to-head. And then these players got the prime player ability. They get a 25% boost on top of their power, which makes them even more stronger. This Kawhi Leonard, you've seen the sneak peek for it already, 81,000 power. And Mr. Fun Guy is one of the elite small forwards in his game. You don't really see him often. And the fact that he is available as a reward for Fantasy Finals is a massive W. Kawhi Leonard's stat average is a 4.4, 5 in defending, solid right there. Mid-range is a 5, shoot-off dribble is a 5, agility is a 5. Everything else you can easily boost up with the gear and mentors. He's one of those complete players, and I'm telling you, very, very strong mid-range, hits a lot of greens. Kawhi Leonard is one of the elite players to use in this game for sure. Now, I did mention he's an event reward. I'll mention the other players as well. So the events is going to be the 3v3 Gauntlet as the first event. The final reward will be the Obsidian Evan Mobley. The Obsidian Evan Mobley, Pearl Siakam, and Jrue Holiday. Then the next event after that is the Fantasy Finals. I already said the Kawhi Leonard is going to be the final reward for that. So that's fire. I'm really excited about this. Pearl Donovan Mitchell is a reward, and another gem that I've been raving about, Jade Christian Wood is a reward. So overall, massive W's. These event rewards are going to be solid. So as always, I appreciate all the support everyone's been showing on all the series on the channel. The no money spent is going crazy. We are also having a lot of fun with the Worth the Hype videos. And this is actually a series here, right? We broke down the Fear the Beard themes recently. So I decided to bring it back for the winter theme where I show you how to build out the players for the theme. I think it helps a ton of people, especially when playing head-to-head in events. So as always, I appreciate the support. I will catch everybody on the next one. Peace out.